Hey folks, this is Owner's Hunting Camp coming at you today. Got a project that we started a long time ago. I just finally got back around to it since my surgery and other things that have been going on around here. This is the BMX bike that I'm going to basically rebuild. The key is I've already got it basically tore apart so I can get ready to sand it. I'm hoping to find the video where I started scraping all the stickers and all the decals off of it. I'm hoping to find that, but today I'm going to start you off with the sanding part of this. The bike's already been stripped. The key that I want to do with this is the sanding, the painting, and the reassembly of this bike for you guys. I want to try to get all this into one video. I'm going to try to shoot this over the next couple days. But again, this is a project that's been ongoing for a while. I've had this bike for over a year. So I'm hoping to get it put back together so I can ride it again in the spring. I've had a couple other BMX bikes to ride this year, but this is the one that just fits me the best. So we're going to start off by sanding this today. Notice I've got my eye protection on. We're going to start off with a die grinder with some sanding pads on it. We are running 220 or 120 grit on here. And when I get into the hand sanding and the final sanding, I've got some 150. So it's a little bit smoother. When you're sanding on a frame like this, you don't need to go down much lower than 150. I've done a couple bikes where I go down to 220, but most of these I go down to 150 just because I want the paint to be able to adhere pretty good when I'm doing the paint job. So I apologize for the noise. There's going to be a little bit of noise, but we're going to get into this and start sanding on it. I'm hoping to take you along for most of this step, but I'll cut it off in a little bit so you guys aren't completely bored with what we're doing. Now, when I'm doing this, I'm not doing it with a lot of pressure. You let the machine and the tool do the work. I usually start here at the front, work my way back, and I'll come back and get the head tube with the fork. I want to get all the main tubes done first. So, we'll continue at this, folks. Okay, you can probably hear it in the background, my air compressor running. This is an air-powered die grinder. This is the one I've had the best luck with when I'm doing these frames. I've probably, since I've been here in Kentucky, I've probably painted 20 or 30 bikes. Most of them for myself. I've painted a couple that have come in for our giveaway bikes that just, the paint was faded out to the point where it was pretty bad. It was scratched up. It was crackled the way I don't particularly care to give a bike to somebody. So again, it's something I do occasionally, not something I do a lot of. Again, most of them are for myself. Did one for my mother-in-law. I did one for my wife's best friend. And I think one for my daughter. And yeah, it's just kind of what we do. If I get a bike in for a specific person, if they don't like the color of the bike, I basically tell them to pick me the paint and I'll paint it. So that's pretty much what everybody's done, except for my mother-in-law. She was born on the 4th of July. So I gave her a red, white, and blue with stars and stripes bike on it, and she rode the fire for about 2 years. Then we ended up getting flooded, and she decided it was time to get a different bike. Still looking for just the right bike for her. I'm hoping that my air compressor shuts off soon. Using a die grinder like this, it's air compressor that uses air. You use it for so long and the pressure dies down, and then you don't get the good sanding like you do. I like to take a break every now and then and check on my sanding disc to make sure it's still good. This one's actually starting to die out, which is honestly fine. As it dies out, it basically goes from a 120 down to a 150, and you can get them down to where they're pretty smooth. I don't necessarily throw these all the way all the time. Once they get down to feeling a little different, I use them as the next step. This one's about there. So we'll give you a little bit more sanding on this. Then I'll basically give you a pause, and then we'll come back when I get down to some of the hand sanding. Okay, now let's talk about what we're using here. This is a die grinder. It comes with these. This one came with a kit that has the roll-lock sanding discs with it, which is nice. These are fairly inexpensive. You can get them almost anywhere. I think we got this one from Amazon. I'm going to change out. That's how easy it was to change the disc out. You hold the mandrel, unscrew it, screw a new one back on. Very simple. That's one of the reasons I really like this. For my initial sanding, once I get the initial sanding done, I will go to my hand sanding. So, let's give you a couple more seconds of this, and then I'll work on this for a little bit by myself and come back for hand sanding. Okay, we'll take a pause here and we'll come back with you in a little bit. Okay, folks, we're back here for a little bit. I got the main tubes and the head tube sanded with my grinder, or my die grinder with the sandpaper. Do a little bit of work here on the forks, and before we get into the rear triangle, I'll get some sandpaper out and we'll show you the hand sanding part. Just a little bit. that's enough of that noise. We'll be back in a minute with the hand sanding. Okay, folks. I got the main triangle, except for the seat tube. I got all this sanded by power. We even got the forks for the most part. Now, you can do this with a steel frame, but I would not recommend this with a aluminum frame. With the power tools, if you could do this on an aluminum frame, do it all by hand. If one of these power tools catches wrong, it will basically chew through the aluminum in a heartbeat. And I definitely wouldn't do, personally, I won't touch a carbon fiber frame doing this. So what I do is I fold my sandpaper in a little piece, then I take it and I just rub it across the frame, trying to take out all the imperfections that my power tools left. And I've stepped up to 150 instead of 120. I just want to try to take some of those scuffs out that I use with the bigger power tools. And your best tool here, besides the sandpaper, is run your hand along it. If it feels good and smooth to you, then you're almost ready to paint. Prime, well, clean, prime, and then paint. So again, it's a kind of a long process. It's a nice cool day out. We're in the fall. It's a beautiful day outside. I couldn't tell you the temperature, but yeah, it's a beautiful day. I'm hoping that when I get into editing this, that I can actually find the footage of me scraping the stickers off and things like that, just because that's part of this process. I use a utility knife to scrape the stickers off with a clean blade. And again, I'm hoping I can find that. If not, you're going to have to use your imagination. The bike was tore apart first. I'd done that a while ago. Just because it got flooded back in February. So I tore it apart to rebuild everything. And honestly, we were getting ready to start our YouTube. And I figured this would be a good project for in the fall. Personally, I don't like to do this when it's 100 degrees outside. So I think we're running right around 65 or 70 degrees today. It's just a beautiful day. Not a lot of traffic on the road out back or out behind me. We're still trying to get a lot of things caught up around here from the flood. We still haven't completely finished. The flood was in February. We're in October. So we're still trying to get some of that caught up. The wife and the baby are in the house getting some rocks painted up for our Charlie Brown Halloween. If you guys know that show, the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, then you know what the rocks are for. Not every child will get a trick or a treat this year. We've got, I don't know how many. We've got a bunch of tricks to give out to some of our kids too. We've got some older kids that come through that might understand it. The parents might understand it. Hopefully somebody in the group that's with them will understand where the rocks come from. Again, you want to feel. Make sure you don't feel anything that's super slippery. If it's super slippery, it hasn't had a piece of sandpaper on it. So you got to go through and scuff that up a little bit. If you notice, I left the fork in this. When I come get ready to paint it, I'll tape off both the cups to do my paint job. I could take the fork out to do the paint, and honestly, I might. I haven't completely decided yet. But we'll see how time goes and how long our videos are going to be. Because this video is all about the sanding and the painting. We're going to do a couple other videos. We're going to make this a little project. You might not see this every week in a row. You might see this week. You might see it in 2 weeks again. It's going to be a couple video project. So stick around. Hopefully you'll enjoy what we're doing. Hopefully you'll learn something out of it. if you're not quite sure about any of this, please feel free to shoot us a message on here. You can go to our Facebook page, which is Handicap Manor Bikes and Books. Look for our logo. We're not too hard to find. We try to be pretty transparent as to where we are and what we do. So you can shoot us a message on here, on Facebook, even email. If you go to our Facebook page, you will see a link to our email. And if you're brave enough, you can actually look and you'll find our website under Handicap Manor. So follow us, folks. We're working on getting some merchandise set up. So we'll have probably shirts and hats and stuff like that. We do have some stickers. Right now, we are not mailing our stickers out. But if you want to support us and all the things that we've got going on here in Garrett, you can stop by here at the shop or here at the house, whatever way you want to prefer it. You can stop here and you can purchase those stickers from us personally. Again, we do have some in stock. We've got some 1-inch stickers. We have some, I think they're 6-inch stickers. And we have some 2-inch magnets for like the refrigerator. And we've got a couple of those floating around. I got one right here on one of my repair stands. All of our stickers and all of our magnets right now all have this logo on it, which is our Handicap Manor Bikes and Books logo. We're going to try to get some just Handicap Manor stickers because, again, this is Handicap Manor YouTube. This is not Handicap Manor Bikes and Books YouTube. If it was just Handicap Manor Bikes and Books, you'd see the author side, you'd see the bike side, but you wouldn't see anything else from behind the scenes. We want to try to give you guys all a link and a visual of behind the scenes with us. Now, I think we got the top tube, the head tube. I think we got the forks pretty good. Bottom tube is good. So, the next time you see this bike, we will be getting it ready for paint with the wipe down and everything else that we've got to do before we can actually spray some paint. We're going to try to do a little bit of a design. We'll have to wait and come back and see us what we do there. But at the end of this video, you'll see us do our wipe down with our acetone. We'll do a wipe down with it, and we'll get it put up. We'll come back to this project in another video. So we love you, folks. Continue to watch what we got going on. We're gonna stop right here, and then we'll come back to the cleaning up of it and going from there.